Okay, so the camera always breaks, as we know. So back to this seed metaphor. The idea that Banquo uses this seed metaphor about that can represent ambition, and we could argue that perhaps in some ways the seed that grows in terms of the genes being passed on and the inheritance is actually Banquo because his sons end up being king, right? Seeds can die, and although it might seem that Macbeth grows at first, in actual fact he is the one who, as he seems to grow, ends up dying, along with a lot of other people, admittedly, including Banquo. And the third thing, which we could probably link to the witches, that might be a nice segue to make, is that a seed can stay dormant until conditions are right, which is kind of what Banquo and Macbeth are in many ways, right? So they're there, they both have the potential, they're both strong, valorous men with honor and dignity. They're both given these prophecies, but Banquo just kind of stays as he is and obviously gets topped in the end, whereas Macbeth's ambition has stayed where it is until the conditions are right, when he sort of sprouts, so to speak. So back to this. Again, a nice parallel to make is we've looked already at how Macbeth actually uses imperatives and commands to speak to the witches and demands they tell him more. Banquo actually does this as well, although it seems in a more relaxed, sort of peaceful kind of tone. But Banquo also uses commands when he says, "Speak then to me." Okay. However, in a different way to Macbeth, he says he neither begs nor fear your favors nor your hate. So he doesn't care as much. Whereas Macbeth is interested straight away in his potential and what he could rise to be in society. So next one, Macbeth speaking here again in Act 1, Scene 3, and this is an aside. Okay, that means that when he's speaking on stage, the audience can hear him, but it's as though he's speaking sort of to himself, his innermost thoughts. Okay, the Banquo and the people can't hear him. Okay, so that's a good small form and structure point to make. The aside reveals his hidden thoughts, and the effect is it creates, this is important structure and form, it creates dramatic irony. And dramatic irony, okay, which is an important form of structure device in most drama, to be honest, is that the audience is aware of characters, motives, and information that other characters are not. So when we hear Macbeth say this as an aside, that straight away he's thinking about murder when the witches tell him the prophecies. Banquo doesn't know it, nobody else knows it, the king doesn't know it, but we know it. So we get that sense of tension and drama and excitement. Okay? And this is part of the early stage of the play that we can call the exposition, which is where Shakespeare is building tension and setting up the dramatic events. Okay? Important as well that the verbs you might want to embed when you're using this: murder and smothered. Smothered is when you cover someone's face or breathing so that they suffocate. All right. The nothing is but what it is not. You could have a think about appearance versus reality, but I'll leave it you to make those notes.